Today I'm going to introduce you to Sean Chermer. I talked to him about a year ago, and finally we got to go do the recording. Sean is active, armed forces right now, but I'll let him kind of go through all that stuff. Sean, so kind of share your history to where you are now to your future. I guess where you're going.
Yeah. Roger, thank you so much. It has been a year in the making, really, from when we first started talking. Thank you for the opportunity and bringing me back on. I am Sean Chermer. I'm the owner and CEO of Patriot Family REI. I am a military real estate investor. Don't let the beard fool you. I am actually still an active duty Army Lieutenant Colonel. However, I am transitioning. I'm on terminal leave right now, and I'll be retiring from the military. I've relocated from Germany, where we started the company, to here in Alabama. And what we do, our niche has been buying multifamily and converting them to condos, which is very good for us in this particular market, though we also do standard syndication, buy and hold as well. We prefer a simpler model, generally doing limited partnerships. Our investors appreciate that. It's easier for us and to be more transparent as opposed to long 506c syndication models. We've expanded. We're in Tennessee, we're in Texas, and now we have our team stood up here in Birmingham. And really, as an Army Lieutenant Colonel, what I found is just taking the skills that I've learned over the last 2 decades and applying them to the real estate world. Finding teams, finding good people with talent that have those talents and putting them in the appropriate place where they can succeed and where the team can succeed. And so really that's what we've done. We've stood up a team now here in the Birmingham area, and we have another 138 units. We'll be going under contract here shortly. We have our Tennessee team that we've done over 120 doors there over the past year as well, and just really looking to expand and very excited. Moving from the military to being a full-time entrepreneur is a little scary and daunting at times. The security that you have as in the military, if you need it, the Army will issue it to you. Well, not anymore, my friend. So it is really, and that element of fear, I think everyone has it in anything we do. If you're not pushing yourself outside of something you've done on a daily basis, then you're not growing, and try to do that every day. And really that serves as the rocket fuel. That fear, that uncertainty is the rocket fuel to get you up and motivate you to move forward. And I won't fall backwards, but I will fall forward and then get back up. And that's one thing I was talking with some of my team about, is it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. That's how we learn. I learn the best when I make mistakes. I just tried to figure out how to minimize that. But going back, really the story is how I got into real estate was I was with the Special Operations Task Force in my previous assignment with 1st Special Forces Command, and I blew out my back again. So I had to go to Landstuhl, Germany. I was with the Special Operations Task Force in Africa. I had to have a 3rd back surgery, and it was the worst one. The surgeon said it's the worst he'd ever seen. Realized the Army and I are not forever. And really that's what started my journey, looking to see what outside the military, what can I do where I would be in a position to put my family first. That was the origins of it, and being able to truly put my family first. Is in the military, no matter how much you try, you can't. So that's why I started with that, and really extended and started with the standard Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Really went down that rabbit hole and just was addicted. I constantly consuming YouTube videos, podcasts, books, everything. And not to do analysis paralysis, went ahead and fast forward about 6 months or so and recovered and started my company. And not a week after I started my first company to invest in real estate, I got a call that I needed to go and be the director of logistics for all U.S. and NATO special operations for the withdrawal from Afghanistan. I was going to replace the current foreign officer that was in that position.
Oh,
So he said, you need to be in Bagram in a week. I asked for 2. So there I was about 8, 9 days later in Bagram. And that's so you have all that momentum and all that time working up, and then boom. And it's just to that point, to really be able to put your family first. And that just amplified it. So that motivated me further and stayed connected with the team that I had been building and some of my mentors, and then redeployed back home, successful. Most you heard out of Bagram was that we didn't say bye before we left. So it was successful on that end from what our perspective was as far as getting all of our people out and our troops out and shutting down the bases. Hugged and kissed my family, wasn't even home for a week, and I wanted to revitalize the team and the real estate venture. So not even a few days home, flew back over to the United States, meeting up with the teams that I had formed in Tennessee, went and met people in Nashville, Cleveland, and then I'm a member of Kingdom REI with Ellis Hammond, and we had an event in Dallas. And there I got to meet one of my current mentors, Whitney Sewell. I was ecstatic. It was meant to be. It's like, I have listened to you every day in the gym in Afghanistan, and here I am a week later meeting you. And it just really invigorated me being with the like-minded entrepreneurs, and just getting the spirits back up and reconnecting. And that was important. My wife, I love her. She supported me after leaving, being gone for months and months overseas, and then to come home and then leave her again just to, explore this journey and get going. And she supported me on it. And that was really what got us catapulted then, so, and then I came home and I started our second company. And then within a couple months, we put our first deals under contract, which we've bought and sold several.
oh,
Yeah, and we've moved on from there. And doing it overseas was a blessing. It forced systems, it forced resiliency. And so now being back in the United States, it seems so much easier.
awesome. Awesome. Wow. I mean, you pretty much covered the whole segment within that first itself, but we'll go
No,
on to other questions.
sure.
There are tips and there's so much stuff in there. All right. Awesome. That was awesome, by the way. All right. Let's jump into the next question. With your new, business or, real estate investing strategy, who can you help and who would you like to connect?
Absolutely. To me, it is our company, Patriot Family REI, is the entity that we are operating out of, and it's all about fulfillment. And it's larger than me.
Mhm,
It's grown larger than my family,
mhm,
my core family. It's now extended into my family with my parents.
mhm,
We have recruited, really, our word for 2023 is scale.
mhm,
And that has been talent recruitment, where we have talent coming to us, and that, so taking care of them and their family and giving fulfillment.
mhm,
And I'll tell you a story. Really what's important to us is, I was having a conversation
mhm,
um, with Ellis, and about the impact
mhm,
through that mastermind, one connection away, really his impact on me to continue and have the confidence to move forward on my journey with real estate has impacted families in Tennessee. We had properties that were downtrodden, neglected, drug dealers, druggies, and you had families co-mingling, to where we were able to clean them up. And now you go there and you see kids outside playing, free, not worried about it. The parents aren't worried. I was like, you're giving that's fulfillment for us as well. And very proud of it. I was honored to be able to take my oldest son to go with me to some of the properties in November.
mhm,
And really that's what our mission is like Patriot Family REI. It's live your American dream,
mhm,
and to help people have that sanctuary, that clean, safe place to call home. And that's where even where the condo conversion comes in is
Mhm.
people want to own their home, but with the market the way it was, with the people were getting priced out.
Mhm.
So giving them other options to own their home, that's where the condo conversion really came in for us.
Mhm.
But with that, so we're really within Tennessee and now in Texas and now in Alabama, continuing that model
Mhm.
is important to us.
Mhm.
Um, and so for that element of fulfillment, and it comes on so many different layers. And we really, that American dream, I want to go back to that.
Mhm.
I've spent over half my career, close to 11 years overseas.
Mhm.
And I don't know that a lot of people in the US realize the American dream is a universal concept, a universal phrase, and it holds a different meaning to different people in different regions around the world.
Mhm.
And it's, I say that to say, we want to help people live their best life, and we're doing that through real estate
Mhm.
to have that solid foundation of a home,
Mhm.
that they can come back to,
Mhm.
and really to highlight that, that is global. Everyone around the world, the United States is still that beacon. Why do we have, millions of people still trying to get here from all around the world? And really, that's just what America represents. And we want to try to uphold that and try to bring that to everyone who we come in contact with, whether it's as a tenant, whether it's someone that's on our team,
Mhm.
within even our conversations, with municipalities and counties that we're dealing with and figuring out what they need
Mhm.
and trying to align with that as well, is there's always a way to a win-win for us. If I can't find that win-win,
Mhm.
then I'm not trying hard enough. So that's what we got to achieve.
Got you. So I would say both investors and obviously people looking for affordable homes also potentially are good connections and could reach out to you for that.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
And that is, and it really, those connections for us, I mean, we're continuing to expand our team. We've brought on a COO, project manager background, $100 million projects,
Mhm.
managing, hundreds of contractors. We're bringing in, we have a capital raiser coming in now, and investor relations,
Right.
and who's been in that financial wealth management field for, you know, 15, 16 years as well.
Mhm.
So really bringing that in to get to the scale so we can better serve our investors and
Mhm.
we can better serve our community.
Mhm.
Um, and with that, just to the scale, it's really anyone, and it's an education. A
Right.
lot of our investors that are coming in, they know they want to get into real estate, particularly right now with the stock market. We've had a lot of folks come to us looking to convert over to self-directed IRAs,
Mhm.
put it into real estate, diversify their portfolios somewhat.
Mhm.
And it's an education process. And we've worked with our investors on that. I've had investors that wanted to learn more about real estate
Mhm.
with us as they invest, and they dial in
Mhm.
on one of our weekly meetings,
Right.
so they can learn.
Right.
Um, I have regular phone calls, emails with other investors,
Mhm.
and we share information, and as they come up with ideas, questions, just back and forth, and it's really that education process, and we cater to our investors as well, as
Mhm.
far as what is your needs, how can we fill those needs,
Mhm.
and so we've tailored different structures.
Gotcha.
Each property has its own entity,
Mhm.
and we're able to tailor each one specifically to that investor as well.
Gotcha.
And that's why so far right now we've had 100% retention rate on all of our investors,
Gotcha.
the repeat investors as well. And
Gotcha.
that's really to the point where deals are coming to us and where the talent is coming to us. And all great Americans, not all, I'd say on our team, not all come on our team, not all are accepted.
Mhm.
All great Americans, they said we are, and that's one thing with being an entrepreneur is I wanted to bring my faith into what I'm doing right now,
Mhm.
and that was important for us as a Christian and an entrepreneur to bring it all together
Gotcha.
and do it in what we do every day. And that was important to us, and so we can truly, you know, be who we are and get better and become better. And that's where where I said earlier, the fulfillment. Some people say, I want to be happy. What do you want? I want to be happy. Well, you can be happy and you feel a little empty too. It doesn't matter. What is your impact? And that's coming from the military. It's just I wanted to you have something larger than yourself,
Mhm.
and you're part of a community, and when to find a community, be part of the community, and serve a purpose larger than myself, even outside of the military. And that's one of the things that gives me fulfillment.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, I guess you already answered the next question. I don't know if I should even ask that. What inspires you to get up and do what you do every day? But you already said.
Oh, it's there. It's
Well,
there. It's that whole combination, that rocket fuel of the uncertainty. What don't I know? What am I not seeing? As a colonel in the Army, I would get trained and paid to plan and have contingency plans and what we call red team it, to where the enemy, look at it from the opposite lens of the enemy, and where are the gaps and where can you fill the gaps and the seams, and have contingency plans and other courses of action. So one thing for me, it gets me up in the morning, is what am I not seeing? What don't I know?
nice.
What angle, what lens do I need to look at this for? If no good plan survives first contact, as we say in the military. So having those contingency plans where we can pivot, where we need to, and making sure the team knows what those are, and so that they're all in line. So if somebody on the team recognizes one of our KPIs that we need to shift, that
Mhm,
they're bringing it up, and we can do that in unison as well.
mhm.
And just like I said, that really gets me up. And then of course seeing being able to take my son to wrestling tournaments, and things like that, spending my daughter to gymnastics, things where I couldn't do before. And that gives me the fulfillment to continue to drive as well, and seeing the life that they're able to live,
Mhm,
in their childhood, and spur that on. And that's even with my wife. And we've our goal, we are starting up our foundation where 25% of anything that we bring in personally to us,
mhm.
we donate.
Wow.
And really, so to fulfill that and fill needs within the community. And it's fulfillment, and really just continuing. And for me, it's we're often all creatures of our own routines.
Mhm.
And so creating that routine helps to get me up in the morning as well. If I fall off of that routine,
Right.
then it messes me up a little bit. But it's establishing that routine, and then just continuing with that. And we talked a little bit earlier about grit. We will all fail. We won't ever pretend to know everything. And that also, looking at it from that lens of what am I not seeing,
Mhm,
wanting to continue to learn, continue to network, continue to meet new people.
mhm.
We talked about with the talent, where meeting people that have that expertise, they're an inch wide, but they're a mile deep in their expertise, and just learning what you can from them, but don't need to know it all, do we? We just need to know who to go to. It's not always Google.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, awesome. All right, awesome. Yeah, yeah. No, there's I mean, I'm going to ask the next question anyway, but then you actually covered a lot of tips within this conversation. So we'll
Sure.
just go, ask the question anyway. So, what's the one tip? You can only share one tip. So, one tip you can share that has helped you, that has helped everybody else, that can help everybody else.
One tip. I'll expand off of grit. Make yourself uncomfortable every day. Every day. What do I mean by that? Don't be a creature of comfort,
Mm,
because you won't grow. The world is constantly changing, and within the world, the United States is constantly changing. There's economics, our macro to economic situation, just everything's changing, everything's evolving, technology. Make yourself uncomfortable. And that is, put yourself in a vulnerable position where you realize you don't know something, and that's something you have to just get over it, understand it, and first is acknowledge it and learn. And so make yourself uncomfortable. And I tell that to my kids every day, and a lot of people, they only know the same people. Some
mm,
people get anxiety on meeting new people, makes them uncomfortable talking to folks. That vulnerability of realizing, getting into something new, and you're the newbie, as my kids would say, you're such a noob
mm.
on games. Be that noob, but you won't be there forever.
Right.
So really just continue to grow personally, professionally, and you do that through making yourself uncomfortable and doing it.
Awesome. Awesome, Sean. Again, great info. If you go listen again, actually gave a lot of tips within different questions I asked him. So maybe listen to it again. I'll share whatever information I have of Sean. So reach out to him if you want to connect with him or invest with him or work with him, whatever the case is. As you can see, he's a very passionate individual with his background in leadership and all that stuff. He probably is going to be a great conversation. So anyway, thanks again for taking the time, Sean, and talk to you later.
Thank you so much, Raju. Yeah, and if anyone does want to reach out to me, I'm on LinkedIn, Sean Chermer, and then also Facebook, and then our company is Patriot Family REI. You can go to patriotfamilyrei.com as well. It is such a pleasure. Thank you so much, Raju.
Thank you.